New brands and new cars are coming in thick and fast from China at the moment, and the latest one is the Great Wall Motors Ora Funky Cat. Look at it. It is absolutely striking. I want to absolutely love it, but I'm not sure I can. Let's find out why. It's a real mishmash in terms of the design here, isn't it? It's like they've taken inspiration from loads of different brands and cars. I mean, classic Mini just there. Is there an element of Porsche 911 about it? Really is a blend, but I think it works quite well. It certainly is different. You can't argue with that. Being fully electric, we don't need the grille across the front there, so it's quite smooth and sleek. Yeah, I think I like it.
Take a moment, enjoy the calm. You could be stuck on the N7 with two teething toddlers. But we don't do stress at the AA. We do roadside rescue, and our trained mechanics fix 8 out of 10 problems at the roadside. Buy online now at the AA.ie. Relax. Yellow and black have got your back.
Takes on a real hatchback look from the side profile. A little bit bigger than you might expect as well. Now, for a bit of context, I'm 6'2", so it's quite a chunky car. It looks a little bit smaller in the pictures than it actually is. We're on the 18-inch alloys just here today, and quite sleek profile again. There's no sharp lines with the Funky Cat. It's all just gentle curves. For me, this is the best angle for the Funky Cat. I think it looks really, really good here. That design, it continues on, real bulbous kind of features. It's all gentle curves still. A little bit of a spoiler at the back, the shark fin aerial there. Small enough window, but visibility is not a problem in the Cat. I like this light bar that comes around the back just there. We have an electronic tailgate, which is great to see. Now, the Funky Cat is 4.2 meters long, so there's a bit of bulk to it, but the boot is actually quite small. There's only 228 litres of space in there. Now, it's a wide opening, so you can get things in all right. It's just that it's quite small. A little bit more capacity underneath just there where you can stow away charging cables and things like that. What about space inside the Funky Cat? Well, the driver's position just here, it feels a lot bigger than you might expect actually, partly thanks to the sunroof that's up there. Lets in a lot of light, makes it feel really, really airy. Slightly higher driving position as well. We've got the batteries tucked away underneath the floor just there. Now, I've got this set up for my position here. I'm 6'2" for a bit of context. Let's see what it's like in the back. And it's really good space in the back just here. Now, remember, 6'2" driver in the front, and I'm still sitting here at 6'2", and I've got a bit of knee room just there as well. Head height, yeah, it's fine. My head's not touching the top at all, thanks to the sunroof there. It feels a little bit open. Magazine pouch just here, USB, phone charger, cup holders, electric windows. Quality of the materials is really, really good. And for passenger in the back seat, this is excellent. Those with children that want to put in the baby seats, you've got Isofix there, and because there's so much space, you'll comfortably fit in baby seats as well as the booster seats for toddlers and stuff. The fact that we've given over that bit of space in the boot means that it's just so much more welcoming and bigger in here. Just pulling out in the Funky Cat now, and let's give it a little bit of welly. Oh, spinning out, and again. It spun out, traction control caught, gave you all the power back and spun a little bit again, and that is one thing. It's a little bit prone to spinning out like that when you really plant your foot. Now, of course, you can put it into eco mode and drive around and just modulate the accelerator a bit, but anyway, here we are coming up to a little chicane. How does it feel in the corners? With a sharp left, oh, very poised, into a right as well. Yeah, feels very, very poised control. I like the steering wheel. It's a big steering wheel, but it's quite thin as well. And yeah, just nicely weighted. Now, you can adapt all this as well in terms of, there's different driving modes here. So it's in auto, put normal, sport, which makes a cool sound, and eco. We can have one pedal driving, which you can turn on and off. We can change the regen settings, so that can be just mild, normal, or strong. So there's a lot you can do with it in terms of adjusting it to how you like to drive the car. No frunk on the Funky Cat, but we're not really expecting it in a car this size. In here, we've got a 126 kilowatt motor, so that's good for about 170 horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque. And if you're interested in it, the 0 to 100 km/h time is 8.2 seconds. It's when we're inside the Funky Cat that it starts to get really impressive. I love the materials in here. It's just full of character. Now, there's a few bits of scratchy plastic around, but it's okay. We're forgiving it. We're not sitting in an 80 grand luxury German car here, are we? I've got wireless phone charger, I've got electric seats, heated steering wheel, programmable as well, plenty of space just here. Then when you get into the system just here, so if we click on the car symbol, and
listening.
This is one thing that bugs me a little bit. Stop. No idea, it just comes on sometimes. Anyway, we'll get away with that. It's not fully responsive, so when I plant my foot to go 1, 2, 3, and then we get it. So there's just a slight delay there. It's not really a criticism, although I think I would prefer if it was just that little bit sharper. And then once you do take your foot off, so let's say we are carrying 70 kilometers along this road here, take my foot off now, 60, 50, yeah, so there's decent regen on it as well. Let's talk range for the Funky Cat, and it is a 59.3 kilowatt hour usable battery. So WLTP range is up to around 450 kilometers. Now in the real world you're not going to get that in general, but I think something in around that 340, 350 kilometers is pretty dependable. Now we've done a good bit of miles in this car over the week that we've had it, a few motorway trips, and I think if you're barreling down the motorway and it's winter conditions, you know, you can drop that below 300, maybe towards the mid 200s. But in general, for me, this is a solid 340, 350 kilometer car. Let's talk money for a moment. How much is the Ora Funky Cat? Well, prices start off at 32,000 euros. For that, you get the slightly smaller battery, a little bit less range and a little bit less spec. What we have here today, the 400 Plus, that is 40,000 euros. You get the bigger battery, a little bit more range and some good spec on it. This is where we charge up the Funky Cat. It's both good news and bad news, really. Let's start off with AC. Type 2 point just there, 11 kilowatts, and that's quite impressive, really. A lot of manufacturers come into market with 6.6 or 7.4, and this goes all the way up to 11. We like that a lot. Less so with DC. It peaks at 67 kilowatts, which is not great, really. Now, you'll still get a quick charge on the motorway, half an hour will top you up to get you on your way again. But for a bit of context, that's less than half the speed of the MG4. It's only barely above the Nissan Leaf that's been around for about a decade now. So we've pulled over on the road here. I want to put it into reverse just so we can do a little 3-point turn here. And it's one thing because it's reminded me of something that's bugging me a little bit with the Cat. Oh, by the way, great camera system in here. The warnings as a 360 panorama view, and the resolution is really, really good, which is a big plus. But when you want to switch between reverse and drive, you have to be completely stopped to go from drive into reverse and vice versa. And sometimes when you twist the knob towards drive, it won't actually let you swap over. So you think, because you haven't looked down to double check that you've gone into drive, you're still in reverse. And that's nearly caught me out a couple of times. Well, our time with the Ora Funky Cat is up now, and it really has grown on us the time that we've had it. There's so much to like about it. I mean, look at it. The design is spectacular. You have to agree that it's different, and I do like it. That carries through inside as well. Think about the level of spec that you're getting with this. It is absolutely amazing. Now, after that, we start talking about the price, and potentially is it a little bit high? Has it done enough to beat off the competition at that stage? I'm not sure that it has, but the fact that it's just so different, it's great fun to drive, it's just full of expression, means that a lot of people will be willing to pay that kind of money for it. So overall, do I absolutely love it? Am I raving about it? No, it's just fallen a little bit short of being brilliant for me. But you know what? I fully welcome it to the Irish market, and I cannot wait to see how it gets on.